title. His record, because saying bald head anthem, it has some, I think, is metaphorically saying, you just need a bald man in your life or something like that. So that was Sienna Misol, Bien Misol. Shout out to you on this lovely Sunday. It is almost 7:15 here in Amsterdam. The weather is terrible, but you know what? I'm back again here with Donny. Donny, how are you doing?
I'm fine.
Good to have you on here again. I was getting worried. I was like, where's Donny? It's always like a good thing to just start off the show with Donny. But welcome back here on Africa on Focus. Today we are talking about so many things. We are doing some health topics in a bit. Sabine Fonderson is going to join the conversation about, things that Africans should know when it comes to our health. And also our main topic, does more education mean more money? We've been thinking about it. Yep. Shout out to Sweet Banana Cake, who's saying, you know what? It depends on what you call education. I see that you making money, Sweet Banana Cake, as being the barber to the stars. So let us know how you're making that money, and did it involve education? Also, a shout out to Hakuna Group, who is talking about all the money is at this particular event in Lisbon. Show me where the money resides, Jake. Please let me know. Shout out to you for tuning in, and everybody else tuning in here, on this show here and Africa on Focus. We just want to engage with us. So do stay interactive. We are streaming on TuneIn. We are streaming on our website and all places. If you want to see some faces to these voices, make sure that, of course, that you tune in with us and engage with us on all of our social platforms. But first, let's talk about this news flash. Shall we? What's been going on in the Netherlands, Donny? Tell me.
Well, the Netherlands not looking good, to be honest, since the COVID cases are rising again. But I actually didn't want to get into this whole COVID pandemic because it's finally...
Why? Because you're having a break very soon and you're running off to the tropics.
Yeah, that. But also the feeling that we finally kind of like getting away from COVID, since
it seems that way, doesn't it?
People are being vaccinated, and really, we all thought, okay, time to look forward to the future, right? I mean, you can now go back to your office and work. The 1.5 meter distance, social distancing,
right?
Were taken away. Face masks were pretty much taken away. So it looked good, very optimistic. But suddenly, cases rose last week to like 7,000, which is a lot. ICU,
right?
Admissions had gone up again, so it looks like
again.
So it looks like we are going to have some restrictions. Return of some of the restrictions.
You think so? Okay.
Yeah, it looks like it. But I think Tuesday or this week there have already been a presentation or an announcement by the House of Representatives on this. But I saw this article about psychiatric patients suffering from long waiting times for euthanasia. This is a topic, or this is something people
that was very interesting
think about.
You better explain what all of that is about.
So euthanasia pretty much is a painless killing of a patient who is suffering from an incurable disease or a really painful disease. Or it's actually one of the many cases that occur is when someone enters into a coma, right, and it's irreversible, so it looks like the person will not come back. Then euthanasia is a way of like pulling the plug, right? But this topic itself, it's not only a medical issue, but also a moral issue, as well as a social and spiritual issue, right? So it all comes down to the choice of giving life or death. So if you were given the choice, or if someone else's life were put in your hands, would you pull the plug, or would you not pull the plug? So this article, I mean, that's a different question, right? So this article basically saying there are patients who actually have already decided to pull the plug,
Okay.
but they still have to wait. They still have to wait roughly 2 years. So psychiatric patients are suffering needlessly and taking their own lives because of the long waiting times to be assessed for euthanasia.
Wow.
Specialist Clinic Expertise Centrum Euthanasie, formerly known as the Levens Einde Clinic, said people with psychiatric illness had to wait for 2 years on average to have their request to die assessed. Political party GroenLinks has called for the center to be given 750,000 in funding to help it cut its waiting list. It's not right that if people are suffering unbearably and have no prospect of improving, have to hang on for 2 years before they can proceed with euthanasia, said MP Corinne Elamate. Spokesman Ronald Steele said the facility in The Hague had received 3,300 requests for euthanasia since the start of this year, up from 2,900 in 2020. The clinic was set up to cater for patients whose family doctors refuse to handle their request to die. We don't have enough psychiatrists to process all these requests, he said. The waiting time for psychiatrists at the expertise center to consider a euthanasia request has increased to 2 years. Under Dutch law, euthanasia can only be granted at the request of the patient if a physician agrees that they are suffering intolerably with no prospect of relief. Around 2/3 of the 7,000 people who die via euthanasia each year are cancer patients.
Man.
This is a serious problem because
Interesting.
someone requests to be assessed for euthanasia, meaning they can't live
Yeah.
like this any longer. But now you have to wait another 2 years?
Yeah, you know what? It's pretty interesting. So far, I've only seen one person that would want to leave this earth, and that was on television. Somebody who have lived all his life, being a successful businessman, and he's done all that he could, and he was living with his wife, and at some point he was just out of it. He had no sense of community like we do.
Okay.
And
Was he sick?
he wasn't sick. He was just didn't have any motivation to live anymore.
It was like, I've done it all.
Yeah, basically that. So he did not have a defining moment for himself where he was like, you know what, let me just enjoy my grandchildren or whatever.
Yeah.
So they interviewed him about, because he was trying to get this probably through to some illegal market. You can get some concussion, and purchase it so that you can drink it and just be gone.
Wow.
And basically they were talking about, him ordering a few and some just being just normal what kind of drinks, and they were made and created in Latin America. They were made in West Africa. There are ways to make money, and obviously these people that are willing to invest in it, they have a lot of money for it.
Right.
So they did some investigation in the documentary originally about, how does this market look like? Where does it come from? So with some journalists, they went down to West Africa, so forth and so forth. And coming back, they really wanted to come back to this man in the Netherlands and be like, okay, how is he doing now?
Yeah.
And then they went to visit his wife, and they were looking at the wife, and they were like, it worked, didn't it? So the latest order actually took him out. She's like, yeah, he took it. You know what? I found him on his bed, blah, blah. He just ate a banana his last time, blah, blah. And he was peaceful with it. And she was just cool with it.
Wow.
I mean, it's something else. I don't know if, it's debatable whether it is such a psychological thing that is to be treated, or is it the right, of a person to do. I know by law here, you can't just.
That's the thing. Here in the Netherlands, you can't.
No.
No one can, unless you jump in front of the train. But,
yes, but like to like file in a request and be like,
Nope.
I just want to end it. It doesn't.
If I would request for assessment, they would decline. It's
right.
Basically a waste of time.
It's a waste of time. Yeah.
In some other countries, if I'm not mistaken, I think Switzerland or Sweden, they are more tolerant with that.
Okay.
And especially when it comes to the elderly ones, I think the criteria has to
Yeah.
be, you are very, really, really old, and from there, I think it's easier to do it. Over here, whether you're old or not, no way. No way. But still, for people to wait 2 years who
are suffering and things like that, man, I can't describe it. These are the type of topics where I'm like, I just want to engage with the people that go through it, just to find out, because I have even if I try to imagine, right, my opinion just doesn't matter. It just doesn't at all. And that's the real thing about it. Some serious topics, man. And I don't know, it makes me quiet. Makes me all the way quiet. All right. Well, that's what's been going on in the Netherlands. A lot of interesting topics, and definitely relating to COVID. It seems like things are going back to normal. Do you still wear a mask? I haven't worn one in some days.
I just had my mask on.
You just had your mask on, okay? For going probably, obviously public transport, you have to wear it. I see people going back to parties. Even yesterday I was invited, one of my business partners was like, oh yeah, we're doing this beach thing, blah blah, come, and he sent me a ticket, and I have to, apologies George, I pretended like I did come, and eventually I was like, listen, I can't make it.
No.
I am not, first of all, I'm not the party person. I'm more of like concerts, that type of thing, and chill and those type of thing, chilling at somebody's house and just be chilling, and then leaving off when you want and be dancing indoors. But I'm just not ready for the festival settings, just like COVID never happened, and people just dancing without any mask. I'm just not ready. I don't know. I can't. I don't trust things enough.
I get you. I went dancing yesterday though.
Okay, without a mask, right?
Yeah, of course. I mean,
no way you be dancing kizomba with a mask.
That just doesn't look right.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
But I only had, let's say, one dance partner.
Okay. Right.
One I actually take classes with.
Right.
So we agreed to go to this, let's say, Halloween party. And then we just me and her, and then we danced the whole night.
I still appreciate social distancing. I know it's not really a thing anymore, but I still appreciate it. People that get up close to me.
Back up now.
Exactly. I don't do too many handshakes. It's like the elbow, still fist, or a hug, but I'm still, I don't know. I think, if I just take a break and relax and come back from it, I probably will be looking at life different. But until then, I am still being careful. All right. Well, in a bit, we will be talking about what's going on on the continent. You are listening to Africa on Focus, and we're almost reaching 7:30 CET, which is Amsterdam time, coming to you live from HiRadio. The weather is crazy, but you know what? We're just keeping the good vibes alive. Tomorrow is November already, so we can't really complain with this kind of weather that we've been having. And today we are talking about some topics. Does more education equal more money? Who are Africa's richest musician? And what is Netflix doing with creatives in Africa? We are talking about that later on today. In about 20 minutes, Sabine Fonderson, who is our returning guest, GP and founder of Hello Doc. And she's going to talk to us a bit about, what we should be doing in terms of health post-pandemic, and so that we can learn and not be taking in ginger and vitamin D too late. But of course, we will be keeping our health up, our entrepreneurship up, and our focus up. All of that in a bit. But first, let's listen to some music. Like I said, I am happy that Samini is dropping back with some music. On this time, he's collaborating with Ifya on their record called Picture. Let's listen to that, and we'll be right back to talk some more about what's happening on the continent. Let's go.
Picture, I they see, I they on Instagram and they watch like TV. Baby, drop more picture, I they feel. What's that imagine? What's that imagine? check you DM. Check you DM. Wish and beam to me no see them. You watch when they shot me in the PM. Aye, now see day. You copy the cinco the weekend. Say my guinea. Say my guinea. Say my guinea. Say my guinea.
The way you tell them for here, make it cement. You love it when you're sliding on the DM. Make a hot, make a wet when I see it. So baby, when I see you going on the weekend, boy, you won't feel ready if you go put it on me. And baby, when I see you boy, this weekend, boy, you won't feel no say me, I put it on you.
Say my guinea. Say my guinea. Say my guinea. Anytime you post on IG, man, like it. You full of style, correct it like Nike. Make me take it off the gram to my yard. Make me sure you send me ready for show you one long thing. So when we see you, girl, in the corner, girl, you want for ready for go cocky palm me. Me have a blaze you like me marijuana, girl. The fire when me walk it on you. Say my guinea. Say my guinea.
You're listening to HiRadio.
I, it's the J to the K to the I. All of my girls got the jam and juice. Pretty face, skinny waist, Costco Bay, oh yeah. Pull up in the Benz with the baddest crew. So make way, no delay us today, oh yeah. And we don't need no long thing, yeah. Let me tell you something, yeah. Drink some meat tonight, and if you're acting right, you can join us at the table. Today we just share you. Maybe worries for tomorrow. Today we just share you. Maybe worries for tomorrow. My gang them bad, you no go fit flex like us. No, you no fit flex like us. All my galley them bad, you no go fit do them like us. No, you no fit do like us. No fit do like us. Cause I'm a girl, them ballers. Oh, cause I'm a girl, them oh my girl, my bills have been paid. They were flexing today, yeah, you can't tell me nothing. Why would I rely on you? You they talk, you know they do, so you can't tell me nothing. Tell the waiter to bring another bottle. Today we celebrate life, yes, we celebrate. You know that you can't knock the hustle. Even the struggle you must to appreciate. Today we just share you. Maybe worries for tomorrow. Today we just share you. Maybe worries for tomorrow. My gang them bad, you no go fit flex like us. No, you no fit flex like us. All my galley them bad, you no go fit do them like us. No, you no fit do like us. No fit do like us. Cause I'm a girl them ballers. Oh, cause I'm a girl them oh my girl them. My girl don't got the jam and juice. Pretty face, skinny waist, Costco, oh yeah. Pull up in the Benz with the baddest crew. So make way, no delay us today, oh yeah. Pull up with the bad gun. It's a now we up to something new. Rebuking all the bad things, claiming all the blessings, Shy leave the worries for tomorrow, today we just stay shy. Leave the worries for tomorrow.
Oh, good vibes from Jessica Liz. Jessica Liz, she is a Netherlands-based Nigerian, Swedish, I would say Nigerian artist, and also a friend that I really, really love her music. We both, come up in the music scene, the Rotterdam music scene, and this song was just jamming on my playlist. So shout out to Jessica Liz. And before that, we listened to a beautiful collaboration of Samini collaborating with Ifya on their record called Picture Afresh. Dance hall / Afro song and all of that. Welcome back to Africa on Focus, just 5 minutes after 7:30. And of course, we are vibing, we are talking about very important stuff, our career, our life, our goals, our plans, because here is where we share our success stories, Black excellence at its finest. And of course, promoting, highlighting how Africans do their thing, how they expand their business, how they grow their impact, and all of that in between. Coming to you live from the city of Amsterdam, Africa on Focus is made possible by Austin, and by Austin is elevating your brand. Are you looking to elevate your personal company or organization brand? By Austin is a brand and communication companies that strategize with you. So make sure that you look up www.byaustin.com. Today we are talking actually about two important topics. We are catching up with Sabine Fonderson. And Sabine Fonderson has been a returning guest. She's a GP, and she talks to us about topics such as our health and what does a GP, Black GP like her, go through, and all of that, all of those things. And of course, we are also asking our main question of today: does more education equal more money? Well, I'm sure that you are able to tell us about that. Shout out to George Wethener too. Also a shout out to Papa Ray Official, who's tuning in on my Insta Live. Yes, I'm every now and then coming back on Insta Live. But all right, man, Donny, what is happening on the continent? South African rejects Russian Sputnik vaccine over HIV fears. Yep. Oh man, vaccine fears are still on the rise. If you
yeah, but before we even read this one, here in the Netherlands we only provide the Moderna, the Pfizer,
right,
and I
think Johnson & Johnson is here as well, right?
Johnson and the Indian one, AstraZeneca. Which had which had problems.
It's an Indian one, all right.
Well, UK Indian one.
Okay.
And then they had to recall, or let's say pull that one, and the AstraZeneca hasn't.
Yeah.
It's not being given to a particular group. But the Sputnik V, which is the Russian one, that one has never been offered here in the.
It hasn't.
The Netherlands. So
they don't transfer the Russians.
Exactly. However, so Russia also, they have their vaccine, and I think they mostly give it to either Latin America or African countries. But there is a problem with this one. South Africa has noticed or insecure about. Let's get right into it.